Welcome back to Viltrumics. To wrap up this episode, we wanted to introduce a new segment where we cast the characters of Invincible in live action. This week, we're starting with Mark Grayson, Invincible himself, Debbie, Cecil, and Alan the Alien, with more to come next week. So, Bree, you're the resident casting director on the show, so I'll start with you, and feel free to share any of your own personal background with our audience.
Well, I'm so excited to be doing this. I work in casting. Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really passionate about actors. And so this was a very exciting segment to do. I wish I could have dedicated all my time to this fan cast, but unfortunately, I do have a job. But yeah, I'm really excited to just jump in and compare our fan casts. And I kind of know like what um what a lot of people like say who they want to see as like
Yeah.
the characters. So I tried to stray a little bit away from that, but some of
Right.
them are just like so spot on that
I
was hard.
know. Yeah.
All right. So for Grayson slash Invincible, I went in a different direction, I think, than a lot of people go. A lot of people
Okay.
like Ryan Potter as
Yeah.
an idea for Invincible or Mark Grayson. In my opinion, I think he's a great, fantastic actor. However, I think he's just a little too old for this role.
Yeah.
Um, and I think there's just so many young, talented actors that have yet to kind of have their moment. That I really kind of tried to find actors who haven't had a lot of credits yet, but very much embody the character of Mark.
Okay.
So my first choice is Charlie Bushnell.
Okay.
I know him primarily from Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the new live action series that they did there.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you the character he plays because I didn't finish the series.
Yeah. I can't say I'm familiar. I mean, I know you said he's a younger, kind of up and coming actor.
Yeah, well, Percy Jackson is kind of the biggest thing he's done so far.
Yeah.
Um, and I think he just has such great energy. And I love that he has kind of a background in like a fantasy kind of world. So he's
Yeah.
familiar with that. And I think he just like he looks great. He has a great look to him.
Right.
Um, yeah, I think the casting of Mark Grayson is such a good opportunity to find someone who doesn't have too many credits but has like that
Mhm.
young, fun energy that Mark Grayson has. Uh,
Right.
yeah, my next choice or next cast or choice, I don't know, is Sean Kaufman from, I primarily know him from The Summer I Turned Pretty. He plays uh Belly's brother. I think he's really funny in the show. He's very likable, and you see
Mhm.
him kind of struggle with finding his inner self in this show because they're like growing up and graduating high school and whatnot. So it's fun to kind of see those moments in comparison to like Mark Grayson's character. So I really like
Mhm.
Sean. My next choice is
Mhm.
Alex Fox. I only know him from the Disney Television Discovered Showcase that the team that I'm currently a part of works on. I've heard really great things about him from my team, and I've been able to watch his like showcase scene that he did. Um,
Okay.
he radiates really great energy, and I want to see him some more things. And then my last um option, I guess, for Mark Grayson, and one that I think I'm most excited that I put him in this list is
Mhm.
Gabriel Chung from May December. He plays
Gabriel
Luke
Chung.
Melton and Julianne Moore's son.
I'm like looking up all these people. Okay.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
we don't see a ton of him in May December, but he has a really sweet moment with Charles Melton when they go on the roof and get high
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think just all of these actors exude such young energy, and I can just really see them in the role of Mark Grayson in Invincible. And I think like the special thing about casting an actor that hasn't done any like too much is like we're gonna see them like develop as the season goes on and like see them grow up and get comfortable in this role.
Right.
A lot of people push for Ryan Potter because he's been in the superhero world.
Yeah.
However, I think it'd be really fun to cast someone who hasn't been in that world because the whole like idea of Mark is that he is learning how to be a superhero. Uh,
Right.
so yeah, I just think those are all really interesting actors that I think everyone should consider for the live action of Invincible.
Those are, I mean, you for Mark, this is way more impressive than what I thought of. These are all really, obviously, I'm not that, they're all kind of, like I said, up and coming. So
Mhm.
I'm not like super, like I saw May December. Uh, I was aware of the Percy Jackson show. Um, but all these guys, like, definitely in the right age.
Mhm.
Um, I think they just kind of fit the look too. I also like Ryan Potter is the first one that comes to mind, but I think largely because everyone has done him as like the fan cast. But I agree, like he's like 28, so he's a little kind of old for uh
Especially want to like follow this show for a while.
right, right. He can't be like pushing 40 by the time we finish it. Like, he looks great. I'm sure he'll look great in 12 years as well, but I don't know if he'll I don't know if 40-year-old Ryan Potter will look like 24-year-old Mark Grayson or however old he is by the end of the show. But these are good picks. This one, I'm not gonna lie, really stumped me. And so I copped out a bit, or I just didn't put in the casting effort that you did. And I just said you could probably find someone kind of unknown or someone that's really like a really fresh face.
Yeah.
I think all these guys would probably fit that. Um,
Yeah. No, I love that. And also like considering how big this show would be, like
yeah,
we're gonna want to cast some namey actors, which I'm sure we'll get to. And so
right.
casting like a fresh face for the
Yeah.
role of Mark Grayson is gonna save us money in the budget. And also like just finding a new face is so exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Stranger Things where you can kind of cast these fresh young stars and it'll kind of boost them but then you can get people watching with like Winona Ryder and kind of some other more established actors for the adult characters.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm really impressed by your research and it makes sense given your field.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, I'm excited. Let's make this happen.
Yeah. Let's do it. All right. Shall we move on to Debbie?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to go first for Debbie?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm nervous about like I just trust your casting opinion so much that I'm a little nervous what you'll think, or if you have the same person. Debbie was a little bit easier just because I feel like there's more like kind of middle-aged Asian actresses
Hmm.
that I'm at least aware of versus teenage, early 20s, like young Asian actors. Um, so people have kind of like thrown around like Sandra Oh, who obviously voices her. Um, and like I kind of can see it. I went with someone who I think is a little bit younger, but still kind of early middle age, and that
Mhm.
is Hone Chow,
Oh my God, yeah.
who most recently was Oscar nominated for her work in The Whale, which is really what made her. Once I thought of her, I was like, oh yeah, I think that's it, because I think she has in that movie such a she plays like this kind of worn out character so well.
Mhm.
Um, and she's only like, I think she's only early 40s. So like, I feel like realistically, Debbie might be mid to late 40s, given
Mhm.
Mark's age.
Mhm.
Um, but I think she could easily play someone who's maybe a little older.
Mhm.
Um, so it was really her role in The Whale that made it click for me when I thought of her. I mean, I've seen her in The Menu, and that's a very
Yeah.
different role. But who did you pick?
Yeah, no, I love that choice. She really blew me away in The Whale and The Menu. And I
Mm,
think especially because like we both saw those at Film Fest, so seeing
yeah,
those such close such close concession to one another
right.
like really impressed me and really showed me her range. So I think that's a really, really great choice. And just like seeing her interviews, like she's just like a warm person. So I could definitely see her in that role. I have three actors
Okay.
that one of them is of course Sandra Oh.
Yeah.
Um, I just I mean she voices Debbie so well. I can only imagine like how well she would do in a live action. That's definitely like the safe choice for sure. Uh,
Yeah.
my next choice is Jackie Chung. She's also from The Summer I Turned Pretty. That's what I primarily know her from. She
Ooh, okay.
also has that warm energy that I think Debbie would have, but also like the ability to switch up when needed and kind of like fight for her family. Um,
Mm,
so I think I just love her. I want to see her cast in more things to see like where her range is at.
yeah.
And then I also have Ming Na Wen from Agents of Shield, or played
Right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
or I think that's how you say it, from Star Wars. She's
Yeah.
just an incredible actor who
Mm,
has a lot of experience kind of in that fantasy world. So I definitely think she'd be able to hold her ground, and she's a lot more bold than the a lot more bold than the other actors, and I think she could really go one to one with whoever was cast as Omni-Man. Like you would really
yeah.
like her anger come through, I think. And yeah, she's just incredible. I saw her in person at an awards show and I was like, oh,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
gorgeous. So yeah, I think these three are great choices.
Yeah. Those are good choices. Um, no, and who was the second one you said?
Jackie Chung,
Okay, right, right, right. Yeah. Who was your like top choice out of those three?
I'd have to go with Sandra Oh.
Okay.
It's I know everyone says her and I know she
Yeah.
voices Debbie, but I just think like I've I haven't personally watched her in a ton of things. I mean I saw her in Grey's Anatomy. I watched all those seasons, but just like I just know her like scope of work. Yeah.
She's kind of maternal.
Yeah. Yeah. And she also like has that like energy to her, like that's the ability to like snap on someone and like put them in their place. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think all three of these women like have that motherly energy to them, but also like some like badass energy to them.
Yeah. Awesome. Those are great picks.
Thanks. I think your Hong Chow pick is also really good.
Yeah, I was kind of hyped tonight. Remembered the whale.